Give us a little background of VTrans.
We started from operating one truck in 1958 and छोटे स्केल से शुरू किया and ऐसे स्केल करते करते today we are 2000 crore approximately company in terms of revenue. हम लोग full truck load, part load, express, 3PL, e-commerce की services देते हैं. We are almost 8 members in the family running separate verticals within one umbrella.
How these, legacy organizations, particularly in transportation, are competing with the tech-driven startups.
Traditional companies एक relationship basis के ऊपर काफी strong way में operate करती थी. And the new age companies have brought the element of technology and processes. And the tech companies also know the importance of relationship in this business. Purely tech और SLA से शायद नहीं चलता है beyond a point. As a player, we will also have to play a role in terms of how do we modernize, how do we infuse technology at the right time. We may not be able to shy away from technology के आज नहीं करेंगे कल करेंगे. तो हम नहीं करेंगे तो कोई और कर लेगा.
Air cargo is moving towards express. PTL is also moving towards express. How V Express is placed and which is the area this organization is competing?
We are largely still surface express player. Customers also generally look at surface as the first option. If it is not possible at all and the urgency is such, then only we go to air. But we are scaling up more strategically. We don't want to over leverage and over invest where it is not making sense for us.
What is your vision for VTrans and V Express? नमस्कार दोस्तों, लॉजिस्टिक शक्ति के पॉडकास्ट चैनल में आपका एक बार फिर से बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। जैसा हमारा आपको कमिटमेंट है, प्रॉमिस है, वादा है कि हम लॉजिस्टिक्स इंडस्ट्री के उन तमाम बड़ी हस्तियों से आपको रूबरू कराते हैं, मिलवाते हैं कि जिनकी लीडरशिप से और जिनकी स्ट्रगल से और जिनकी स्ट्रेटजी से, जिनकी वर्किंग से हम और आप मिलकर कुछ सीख सकें और आने वाले एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और जो लॉजिस्टिक्स इंडस्ट्री में अपना करियर बनाना चाहते हैं वो एक लर्निंग ले सकें और वो भी एक सक्सेस, दूसरे लीडर्स की सक्सेस से इंस्पायर होकर अपनी लाइफ में एक सक्सेस ले सकें। तो ऐसे ही आज के एपिसोड में हमारे बीच में सेकेंड जनरेशन लीडर है, मोस्ट डायनामिक पर्सन फ्रॉम VTrans लॉजिस्टिक्स, which is fully integrated logistics company, one of the leading transportation and logistics company of India. So help me welcome Aditya Shah from VTrans.
Thank you, Amit.
So thank you, Aditya. Thank you very much for making this possible all the way from Bombay.
My pleasure.
Give us a little background of yours, how you personally got into, and a little bit brief about VTrans.
Sure. So first I'll tell about the company. So we are a 1958 year born company. We started मतलब एक छोटे स्केल पे हम लोगों ने शुरू किया था from operating one truck. And it was started actually by our first generation, and I'm from the third generation, not the second.
So I was just using word wrongly. Second generation नहीं, third generation है. Very nice.
So we started in 1958 and छोटे स्केल से शुरू किया. We were operating purely between within Mumbai, फिर मुंबई गुजरात, and ऐसे स्केल करते करते today we are almost 2000 crore approximately company in terms of revenue. एंड हमारे काफ़ी डाइवर्सिफाइड वर्टिकल्स हैं. हम लोग फुल ट्रक लोड, पार्ट लोड, एक्सप्रेस, 3PL, ई-कॉमर्स की सर्विसेज देते हैं. इट्स स्टिल अ फैमिली बिजनेस. एज आई सेड कि वी आर ऑलमोस्ट 8 members in the family running separate verticals within one umbrella. मेरे बारे में आई joined the business in around 2008 after graduation. I had gone abroad for a year, जहाँ पे मैंने मास्टर्स pursue किया.
Which country you been?
I went to UK for a year and I did my masters in finance. And I was on and off में involve होता था business में whenever there were annual reviews या कोई meets में. So natural वो एक tendency होती है family businesses में you get pulled at an early age.
And you learn in family while at the home.
Yes.
And at the same time in office as well.
Correct. So a little bit understanding तो थी, but formally I started getting involved in 2009. And yes, it's been a journey since then. Multiple roles, multiple experiences करके now it's been almost now close to almost 20 years that I've been part of the journey.
Very nice. So the whole country, as far as logistics and transportation is concerned, getting transformed because of particularly last 2 decades, the GST reform, then the lot of infrastructure development, then the e-commerce has evolved.
Correct.
So this industry has got a lot of attraction in terms of a very high potential. So how do you see the FTL transport is evolving in this particular whole segment?
Correct. So I think last 20 years essentially have been quite I think exciting for the overall industry. एक some sort of a transformation हम बोल सकते हैं कि the industry has gone through a bit of a transformation and surface transport में generally I think almost 75% business which fleet owners or any transporters do comes from FTL because that's the bulk segment. Smaller is the segment of part load and express जो एक छोटा छोटा गिरता हुआ एक segment है in the overall pie. तो FTL is the large part of the business जहाँ पे सारे fleet owners, truckers are generally the starting point of getting into transport is where FTL is the easiest business to get into. Entry barriers थोड़े उसमें limited है, कम है. And it's more like a commodity business.
Commodity vanilla ekdam business or more of a financing as well.
More so, yes. But it's a very essential part of any company as well as in any country because FTL is generally how a trucking industry is seen. कि आप ट्रांसपोर्ट में हैं तो जनरली एसोसिएट होता है कि आप FTL करते
होंगे.
सो ओवर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम आई थिंक काफ़ी उसमें चेंजेस आए हैं. आई थिंक पहले टेक्नोलॉजी का यूजेज वाज लिमिटेड टू जस्ट प्रॉब्ली GPS से ट्रैक करते थे एंड देयर वर more so smaller players who were trying to do the business and there was a lot of fragmentation. But usse dhire dhire there have been some organized movements that have happened. Larger players, larger fleet owners have come into the segment because customers also have expectation that there is a slight amount of service quality that also needs to improve. Sirf ek truck provide karna is not the only solution. It needs to come with response. It needs to come with technology. Efficiency ke liye there have been a lot of innovations that have happened. Maybe we would have taken those innovations from abroad in terms of monitoring the vehicle, driver safety, improving the speed of the vehicles, diesel ke upar how we can have more better fuel efficiencies. Over a period of time, there have been a lot of aggregators also that have entered into the segment.
In fact, my next question was the same.
Yes.
How this, legacy, driven legacy organizations, particularly in transportation, are competing with the tech-driven startups.
Correct.
A lot of startup has also come, and you also, started from there itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, essentially, it's been more like a family-driven, industry. जहाँ पे generally it is small fleet owners, family-run businesses which have been into this segment. Of course, in the last 15 years, काफी सारे tech-enabled, private equity funded players also entered into this segment. तो कहीं ना कहीं पे एक competition भी create हुआ in terms of traditional trucking companies, transport companies versus new age companies. So it has brought in a little bit of a, I would say, price war भी थोड़ा बहुत होता है. And the outcome out of this is definitely in the positive direction because traditional companies एक relationship basis के ऊपर काफ़ी strong way में operate करती थी. And the new age companies have brought the element of technology and processes. अभी कहीं ना कहीं पे both are adapting to each other.
Yeah. So equilibrium is created.
Yes. So traditional companies are upgrading with the tech platforms available. And the tech companies also know the importance of relationship in this business. Purely, tech और SLA से शायद नहीं चलता है beyond a point. तो कहीं ना कहीं पे दोनों converge हुए हैं, which is probably healthy for the industry, I would say.
Great. So if you look at from a customer perspective and also from a government policy-driven, reforms and a lot of investment coming in multimodal transportation or multimodal logistics park.
Right.
So do you think, or I believe so, legacy or maybe a large FTL or transport organizations who are operating only in a transport vertical are having a pressure or strategizing themselves to become an integrated, complete logistic solution provider.
नहीं, करेक्ट. आई थिंक the overall evolution अगर हम देखें तो the entire industry and the expectation of customers are moving towards that direction कि मेरे पास as a company I have multiple services that I require. एंड कहीं ना कहीं पे larger the corporations से जब हम बात करते हैं उनका भी एक इंटरनल टारगेट रहता है कि हाउ डू वी रिड्यूस द नंबर ऑफ वेंडर्स एंड आउटसोर्स एज मच एज पॉसिबल टू देम. बट वो तभी पॉसिबल है when the players on the opposite end or logistics companies are able to provide a bucket of services rather than only one
Just a
or
vanilla or one vertical service.
vanilla. So definitely I think उसमें there is a demand that companies or logistics companies should provide multiple services. It is a challenge also because maintaining multiple service products और उसकी quality
And it's standardization is become a little difficult.
standardization and वो bandwidth create करने के लिए there are
lot of investment come.
processes हैं, investments है, team है, technology है, उसमें invest करना पड़ेगा for a company to be able to provide the services across all verticals in a seamless manner without not undermining कि there are standalone players which will also continue to be. या अगर हम PTL कर रहे हैं तो बहुत ज़्यादा PTL करें एंड उसी के ऊपर फोकस करें तो वो भी सर्वाइव करेंगे. बट देन डेफिनेटली उसमें चैलेंज रहेगा फ्रॉम समवन हु कैन ब्रिंग इन अनदर फ्लेवर ऑफ मल्टीपल प्रोडक्ट्स. तो एज अ कस्टमर डेफिनेटली दे वुड वांट कि ओके आप मेरे सारे वर्टिकल्स में हु इज द वन हु कैन डू एवरीथिंग वेल टुगेदर. तो एक नेचुरल टेंडेंसी रहती है कि व्हाई नॉट reduce our burden and pass it on to players who
Keep
can
it a
manage my
single
entire
point of
portfolio.
contact, and a lot of leveraging also happen.
Yes.
How the VTrans journey is happening in this from FTL or transport dominance organization to an integrated logistics solution provider.
Correct. So I think in our entire journey from 1958 till almost year 2000, we were growing, but we had a very limited scope in which we were playing. We were very strong in that, which is the western part of the country. So हम लोग purely महाराष्ट्र गुजरात के बीच में operate करते थे, and we were comfortable. We were doing good. We were giving excellent service also. But then as the customer expectation also grows and कहीं ना कहीं पे competitive environment में we also had to diversify. So we were more a PTL player than an FTL player traditionally. मतलब हमारा FTL business was more about filling our trucks and focus was always on PTL. So since 2000, then we also realized the need that we need to go pan-India and we also need to have some investments in future businesses like express business or 3PL business. And it was a right decision because uske baad our journey has been significant. We've grown almost 20-22% year on year from year 2000 till 2025. So from I think hardly हमारा business 25-30 crores होता था in 2000, which has grown to 2000 crores in 25 years. So large part of it can be attributed to the ability to diversify this business. And today, as we are positioned, we call ourselves integrated because सारे products are there on our platter. FTL, PTL, Express, e-commerce, 3PL. And lot of common customers among all the verticals so that we are able to leverage our relationship with them also. Benefit to client ke they deal with one organization, they know the overall culture, they know overall practices. So they are also relieved from that angle that मुझे multiple team से deal नहीं करना पड़ता है.
I mean the real partnership get created with the client.
Correct.
Okay. What's your take, since you are traditionally asset heavy and still I believe so, asset heavy versus asset light, or legacy versus platform oriented.
Correct.
So what's your take on that?
See, our general philosophy has been not to be on extreme on either side. ये हमारी overall tendency रही है. So we keep those many assets which are very essential to maintain service quality to at strategic locations, whether it is land, godown space or trucks. So हम लोग ने कभी ऐसी पॉलिसी नहीं रखी कि हम एक्सट्रीम एसेट हेवी होंगे या तो फिर एसेट लाइट होंगे, बिकॉज दोनों के फायदे और नुकसान भी है. दोनों both have pluses and minuses.
Pros and cons is always there.
So our overall thought process is we need to have certain assets in, for example, trucks. So जो high frequency lanes है या challenging lanes हैं या जहाँ पे customized solution customers को चाहिए and वैसे ready-made options are not easily available. So वहाँ पे हमारे खुद के assets होना is somewhere benefiting us also and benefiting the client when it comes to service delivery. At the same time, not everything we can do in-house. We need to also see
Outsource.
where we can get the right partnership from our fleet partners or rental partners when it comes to locations where probably our reach is also limited, and sometimes their capabilities we are able to leverage upon and give a solution to the client. So in today's age, I would say it may not be for at least the industry that we are in, logistics, transport, express or 3PL. Either or solution completely, I think, may be a risk when it comes to giving the right service quality to our customers. So it's always
Mix of both.
it's mix of both, and a percentage, a balance needs to be determined. And I would suggest कि whichever strategic locations and strategic services है, उसके ऊपर there should be some assets that you should own, but it should be limited to that, and there should be a balance where asset light models also can be integrated.
Okay, right. Generally, the transportation and the logistics in any case, a little physical, a little rough business, and at the same time may not be perceived as a so lucrative in terms of the ROI and the margin and EBITDA and PAT. So, how you manage those tricky point, and what is the culture and the strategy?
Yes, so I think definitely it's any business is not an easy business. So whether it is logistics or
Yes.
other businesses, every business has its own challenges. Traditionally, I think logistics has been कहीं ना कहीं पे perceived as an unorganized segment because of multiple factors. The ground reality is that we deal in, the kind of infrastructure that was available for transportation or warehousing, that was not so lucrative itself to do the business itself in the first place. तो उस environment में operate करने के लिए भी एक you need a different kind of a skill set, which was the case earlier.
You need a lot of courage.
You need a lot of courage, you need a lot of patience, you need
risk appetite.
You need to have a lot of risk appetite, and you need to be prepared for any uncertainties. So उस environment में the overall industry has emerged. So कहीं ना कहीं पे it's a challenge, I think, also that the families who have been involved into this business, they've taken, and I think a lot of credit also should be given to that industry, because of that backbone kahin na kahin pe country has also been able to do business. We have been an important leg. But having said that, I think over period of time, जैसे country भी transform हुई है, it has also gone through
multiple phases.
Infrastructure has developed. GST has been one of the beneficiary when it comes to easing out the overall movement. So कहीं ना कहीं पे unorganized से organized की तरफ the overall businesses are also moving. Yes, abhi bhi image correction will take a bit of a time, but I would definitely say it's not long enough, after which kahin na kahin pe this also will become a business which will be looked forward to. I think with the right infusion of technology, a lot of initiative from the governments also to make logistics as an industry. Over a period of time, there will be talent which will also look at this as a lucrative segment. So both as a player, we will also have to play a role in terms of how do we modernize, how do we make processes, how do we infuse technology at the right time. ROI maybe immediately may not be seen very easily, but we need to think from a longer term of how the country is developing. तो कहीं ना कहीं पे इन्वेस्टमेंट में हमें भी थोड़ा रिस्क लेना भी पड़ेंगे एज ए इंडस्ट्री. वी मे नॉट बी एबल टू शाई अवे फ्रॉम टेक्नोलॉजी के आज नहीं करेंगे कल करेंगे, तो हम नहीं करेंगे तो कोई और कर लेगा.
It has to be done in any case.
And कहीं ना कहीं पे प्रोसेसेस, फॉलोइंग द रूल्स ऑफ द कंट्री, गोइंग द ऑर्गेनाइज्ड वे, एंड कहीं ना कहीं पे लॉन्ग टर्म सोल्यूशन इज टू वर्क एज अ प्रोफेशनल कंपनी. ट्रेडिशनली there is a limit, you can scale up to a limit, but if you want to really go big, and there is no choice but to professionalize and go. So professional setup mein ultimately people would love to be
Up
associated.
for it, yeah.
So but yes, it's a collective effort that the industry and the
And
forums
it's
will
a
have to
journey
put. Yes.
together. And here comes to the V-Trans and V-Express. So V-Express is a express division of
The group.
V-Trans. So how do you look at the PTL business? And there is I find a little, overlapping between the PTL and the Express,
Correct.
right? So can you just explain on that?
No, definitely. I think if we look at maybe up to year 2000 or slightly before that, तो ये दोनों products market में they were absolutely differently placed and differently positioned. PTL was seen more like a consolidation model, more like a go down transportation, more suited for industrial products and commodities. And
Where the time sensitivity was not there.
yeah, time sensitivity was not defined as such
Yeah.
and not expected up to a certain level.
Correct.
And Express was purely very high premium, very high touch sensitive, responsive.
Fixed routes vehicles are connected.
Scheduled vehicles, and that's how तभी अगर देखें तो both the products were clearly different, and that's the time also that we entered into both these segments, or rather we entered into Express segment. हमारा PTL तो V-Trans के अंदर चल ही रहा था.
Right.
But yes, over a period of time, because of demand that even PTL cannot be treated as non-time sensitive, it also needs to have some service quality that is attached to it. And kahin na kahin pe Express also, there was a saturation after which there was a need that they also need to fill up the empty capacities. तो एक टाइम आ गया वहाँ जहाँ पे दोनों प्रोडक्ट्स कहीं ना कहीं पे कैनिबलाइज भी करते
Merge
हैं.
होने लगे, हाँ.
So फिर भी both the products have their own distinct identity even today. The PTL still has a large part of consolidation within V-Trans also and competitors also may. It is suited for businesses which have a certain type of a service definition. Certain type of industries are more typically suited for the PTL business, and Express business is typically more catered to where the service is required faster. So internally, abhi bhi there is Chinese wall through which we segregate both the products, and दोनों businesses के लिए there is enough scope for us to grow in the overall country. But yes, we need to keep the portfolios slightly different.
So there is another angle: air cargo, Express, and PTL, and somewhere Express is trying to match the turnaround timing in country because they have better road situation and better vehicle speeding and maybe a multiple driver kind of a situation. So air cargo is moving towards Express. PTL is also moving towards Express.
Yeah.
How V Express is placed and which is the area this organization is competing.
So we are largely, you're right that I think there is, एक bucket से दूसरे bucket में there is a shift.
Shifting, yeah.
We are largely still, a surface express player. Our air product is there, but it's a relatively smaller pie. And what we also have realized that air is a very small percentage of overall spend of the, overall logistics spend. And air or the premium product which requires a faster TAT makes sense above a certain distance to be covered, and for certain type of requirements of customers only, which is very urgent. So for example, auto industry mein vehicle off-road ka jo product hota hai, where it has to reach comfort mein in 24-48 hours, and that too it makes sense if it is more than 900,000 kilometers jo by road or by rail it may not be possible to service, is where air product makes sense for customers. And the premium also is worth it because the downturn of those products not available ka cost is much heavier. But if it's a shorter journey, 500 kilometers or so, sometimes the air doesn't make sense because whatever we pick up today, if it is to be delivered tomorrow, that can be possible through road, rail, and air. So then a lot of times, the question also comes that why air for 500 kilometers? Why not alternate options? So customers also generally would not want or would want to, look at surface as the first option. If it is not possible at all and the urgency is such, then only we go to air. So हम भी करते हैं, but we are scaling up more strategically. We don't want to over leverage and over invest where it is not making sense for us. But yes, over long distances, 900,000, 1,500 kilometers, जहाँ पे definitely on the surface side it could take 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Based on urgency, that 1 or 2% of the overall business from logistics side or express side, and the industries are very specific that would prefer that air. But again, their usage would be limited to again 4-5% of the overall logistics spend. So it's a very niche segment. But yes, with the overall country, the number of airports developing, the connectivities that are increasing, that's a viable option that is available. But again, we don't see volumes, significantly going or the ratio changing from surface to air in a big way, because ultimately it's a premium. It's a
But air to express is changing.
uh, air to express, as I said, if the distance is 500
Correct. Shorter.
kilometers, which is possible now in express.
Like Delhi to Mumbai, Delhi to Ahmedabad, it's
Yeah.
possible. But Delhi to Chennai, Delhi to Bangalore may
Yes.
not be.
Yes, Delhi, that 1,000-2,000 kilometers range. If it is an urgent requirement, then nobody can beat air as such. But 400-500 kilometers, I think surface can very well give the requirement. So again, option is with the customer, whatever they would prefer. Surface has a chance that sometimes because of road conditions it can spill over. Wherever that risk is not worth it, then probably even air makes sense in those journeys.
Now let's come to the little personal side of it. What is a challenge or expectation you have to carry? Not a burden or the expectation of a family, being a third generation young leader. So how we are handling those challenges and the expectations?
Okay.
Rather transforming the legacy organization into a modern age organization.
Okay. So I think definitely there is a certain way in which the company and any of these family-run businesses operate. In the first generation, generally it's the tough work of setting up businesses from scratch, and kahin na kahin pe as a third generation or second generation, we come with things which are already developed, already established. So that difficult stage when company ko, whether it's a question of survival, kahin na kahin pe wo stage pass karke is where we enter. So the challenges on our shoulder is two parts. One is to keep reminding ourselves of all the good things that probably our previous generations have done. Acknowledge that, understand, and
Appreciate that,
and understand that at that point of time that type of work was what was essential for developing the company.
Moment of truth defining of that particular time is very important.
Yes.
Otherwise very easy to just criticize.
Correct. तो वो realization करना, and it's कहीं ना कहीं पे it requires a bit of work to train ourselves कि भाई there was a situation because of which something would have happened, and how our earlier generation managed it. उसको realize करने के लिए खुद को you need to pinch yourself, or you need to remind
to
yourself.
empathize and think and
Yes.
putting themselves in
And
their shoes.
and उसमें भी it's not that everything would have gone right. कहीं ना कहीं पे उस age में, उस point में mistakes भी हुई रहेंगी. तो कहीं ना कहीं पे as a generation we need to accept that and have the ability to understand that, digest it. But कहीं ना कहीं पे in the real sense the expectation would also be that you bring a new angle to the business while accepting those. So it may not be prudent only to follow that legacy without getting a new dimension to it.
Yeah.
So the responsibility, or slightly the burden on us, would be to balance that and also look at the external world and see what is it that will take it for the next 25 to 50 years. So कौन से principles, कौन सी ideas, कौन से inherent culture matters को preserve रखना ज़रूरी है, वर्सेस उसमें कौन से फ्लेवर्स ऐड करना ज़रूरी है जो इसको रखते हुए कंपनी को आगे बढ़ाएंगे. कहीं ना कहीं पे इट रिक्वायर्स मैच्योर कॉन्वर्सेशंस, जिसकी एबिलिटी और जिसकी हिम्मत दोनों जनरेशंस को साथ में आके करनी
बैलेंस
पड़ेगी.
करना.
आई नो द सीनियर जनरेशंस विद अ लॉट ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस, लॉट ऑफ life events that they have gone through, for them they have reached a certain stage where they have seen the world. So for them also to have open conversations, to invite views, it requires a bit of effort. And for the next generation also, it requires an effort to understand the past, understand what went through, understand what has worked well, and may require to be continued and preserved. वो कहीं ना कहीं पे acceptance from the next generation also, while voicing out in terms of what are their views, what are their suggestions, thoughts, what are their aspirations in terms of the business also and themselves also. वो एक टेबल पे आके वॉइस आउट करना कहीं ना कहीं पे इज द मेच्योरिटी विच requires. And as I said, it's not only one generation, it is both generations have to come. It's more like a handover takeover, जहाँ पे your plus points, my plus points, and our both understanding needs to shake hand. And कहीं ना कहीं पे we need to be open to hear, open to listen. So that's a challenge sometimes, but kahin na kahin pe we are fortunate that our business and our generations have been very receptive. They have been also forward looking, basis which we have reached this scale.
So a lot of empowerment and freedom has been given.
Empowerment,
Yeah.
even our generations were tech savvy even in those days.
Those
So
days as well.
whether it is putting processes, putting computerization, digitization, even when none of us were involved. So our previous generations were always forthcoming and thinking that
Forward thinking they were already
what kind
having.
of business we would want to give our next generations. Let's not wait for them to come in. So they had already set up processes. So we were already in the phase of getting into an environment which was created well for us. So we thank our senior generation for that. They are definitely very much active and very much relevant in today's age also. And they have given us a platform where we can openly discuss on a monthly basis in terms of what market scenarios are happening, what kind of projects will make sense for the future. So आज ये एक अच्छा combination है जहाँ पे second and third generation come together, sit together, discuss the issues openly, and find out where is it that our next move should be. Uh, if that kind of coordination keeps working, I think a lot of businesses can successfully live together and grow together in the future. But yes, it requires effort.
It's require efforts, and it require definitely a different kind of mindset when you run a family business.
Yes.
Vanaspat, or instead you're running the business started from the startup or the scratch.
Yes.
Right. So within the freedom, you need to be disciplined as well.
Correct. Absolutely.
Right. So how do you see the future of FTL or transportation in the scenario of sustainability and the green logistics or net zero requirement through the EV or LNG or alternate energy?
Correct. So I think yes, over last I think 1 decade or so काफी इसके बारे में चर्चा हुई है, and I think from I think there have been a lot of global initiatives जिसके basis के ऊपर large part of the world and the customers essentially have taken the lead in order to make their logistics green. कहीं ना कहीं पे those MNC clients in India have pushed themselves and through them vendors or partners like us. So momentum आया है, although it is still in its infancy. EVs के ऊपर there is a lot of work research that is happening, but on ground abhi bhi it is most suited for purely the last mile when it comes to bikers or maybe a 3-wheeler, 4-wheelers, and उसमें भी LCVs and HCVs as a segment में we are yet to see concrete solutions, but I'm sure a lot of OEMs are working towards it. Abroad already there are solutions and people have gone to next stage, but kahin na kahin pe that infrastructure and ability for large EV trucks to run on a longer distance, I think in the next 4 to 5 years we'll see more maturity around that part. Alternate fuels, whether it is CNG, LPG के ऊपर भी आए हैं. CNG has been by far I think the most visible,
useful and visible as of
visible.
now.
Although the ROIs are not very lucrative now what they used to be earlier, but still, given the kind of geopolitics that we are in, I think over longer run, maybe net zero or reducing for carbon footprint plus diversifying from traditional fossil fuels like diesel and petrol may make a good strategy to keep yourself diversified. Indirectly, you are definitely helping the environment, keeping the air clean. but keeping your business also diversified from fuel inconsistencies also is good for the overall economy. But yes, it will take maybe another 4-5 years जहाँ पे एक यूनिफॉर्म ईवी की इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज अवेलेबल फॉर रनिंग trucks on a longer distance of a higher capacity. Apart from that, I think solar is something which is already well adapted. Even in our company, most of the big warehouses are solar equipped. So to that tune, I think the ROI is very clear. It's a good payback period, 3 to 4 years. May you make the ROI, and then after that, whatever the maintenance karke, the life can be as long as 15-20 years. So solar, I think, is widely accepted, widely used, whether it is warehousing companies or transport companies in terms of their hub centers. And yes, overall sensitivity आज शुरू हुई है in terms of people acknowledging and realizing that this is a subject जहाँ पे हम uh, maybe it's a long term investment. We may not be able to see benefits or give benefits to our clients in the short run कि 1-2 साल की बात नहीं है. इसको एज अ कल्चर एंड एज अ पॉलिसी ही इम्प्लीमेंट करनी पड़ेगी फॉर अ व्यू ऑफ 25 years or 30 years.
So
Then
there has
only
to be some force behind it in
there has to
terms
be
of the
force and there
policy.
has to be long term
Yeah,
view.
and long-term view has to be there.
इसमें immediately we may not be able to quantify कि इसका benefit 1 साल 2 साल में क्या हुआ. That has to be part of the overall strategy itself, and the companies or our customers also and us also, we both need to jointly think of it from a long term solution. Then only it will be sustainable. Otherwise, sometimes the ROI may not justify to
Yeah.
invest
From a
today.
business perspective, sometimes it may not make sense.
Yes,
Absolutely,
yes.
in terms of the PAT.
Correct.
Right. So, do you see the this logistics or maybe a transportation remain highly fragmented? Still, a lot of consolidation, a lot of automation, a lot of transformation happen. Do you see any consolidation in India? A small time or maybe a medium operating companies are merging with the top 4 or 5 organizations.
Yes, I think when we see the examples of more developed countries, like if we compare Western Europe or if we compare America, and sometimes even developing countries, but slightly bigger countries like China and all, तो वहाँ पे इतने fragmentation नहीं होते हैं in terms of suppliers. So कहीं ना कहीं पे if we take their examples, you have definitely big 10, 15, 20 names which dominate a larger part of the overall logistics pie, maybe 20-25%. So India में अभी भी that movement has started where consolidation happens, and maybe at some point in the future you will have 10-12 large business groups which will command a sizable share of the overall logistics pie. It could be integrated logistics itself. So consolidation, I think in the last 10-12 years, a lot of examples we've seen. एक्सप्रेस इंडस्ट्री में भी हुए हैं. प्योरली ट्रकिंग ट्रांसपोर्ट में उतने नहीं हुए हैं. सो इट्स बीन द स्ट्रॉन्ग प्लेयर्स बिकमिंग स्ट्रॉन्ग, बट not too many M&As is what we have seen. But definitely, I think if we take those examples of developed countries, I think there will be maybe in 10 or 15 years of time, you will see larger groups having a larger share. It could be through organic growth or it could be through inorganic. Inorganic में domestically I'm not very sure whether the appetite is there for taking those risks. Largely we've seen either it's private equity induced companies which have taken those bold decisions, or it's been MNC companies which have come and established through partnership and then grown inorganically. But I'm sure the way country is progressing and the logistics mein, it's a huge business when it comes to the potential. There will be investments, there will be it will attract further international
Large
view
investors.
who are global MNCs in logistics. And obviously when they enter into the country, the best way is to partner with some of the Indian firms, and in whatever form of JV it could be, then it scales up. So uh, there have been consolidations happening, but it's been slightly inconsistent, I would say. But if we keep a 15-20 year viewpoint, I'm seeing yes, there will be larger groups organized groups, more integrated players who will have substantially larger share compared to what they are having today. The smaller players may continue operating in a certain niche. अगर उनका कोई segment है, either in certain geography or certain products, they will, but they will have a struggle after a point. Either they have to take the risk of going, national or diversifying. But अगर limitations है, तो they may also, partner with a larger player at some point of time. So कहीं ना कहीं पे either you are very specialized in what you do, you may continue to own a niche, or you take the risk of diversifying and growing. And if either not, then
Then you have to
then you
connect
better
or merge
partner.
someone. Yeah.
Then you partner with someone who can give you a win-win solution. Yeah.
So let's come to the industry vision. If you've given a chance, redefine the entire policy and all those things. What are the 3 steps would you like to take as far as the industry reform or policy making is concerned?
That's a big question, definitely. And if I had to define the vision, I think the vision of the overall industry definitely should be to look at customer and customer service as a key point, to start when it comes to establishing the, company or the footprint in the business, because it's ultimately excellent customer service which propels this industries and take it forward. So कहीं ना कहीं पे customer first की एक mindset, in terms of service and service quality, should be the starting point, or the view with which the business should be foreseen. Second, I think extensive use of technology and working as processes. के ऊपर also it should be a mandate, that there should be a basic level of technology and basic level of processes, because sustainability as a business अगर longer run में रहना है तो without these two things it's going to be difficult, and there will be more businesses which will struggle. And uh, uh, and the third principle or policy जिसके ऊपर I strongly feel is the ability to work in a partnership kind of a model.
Collaboration is required.
Collaboration.
Yeah. It's very, very much needed.
Because the reason because of which this industry is fragmented is because that mindset of collaboration was missing.
Never been
There was a trust deficit
Yeah.
within the industry. There is a trust deficit with the customers. I'm not sure to what extent I can say the trust deficit with even policy and government to that tune, infrastructure and so कहीं ना कहीं पे as a country, जितना भी logistics में spread we have done, because of this inability to collaborate rightly, we are probably working more in silos. So I think as a principle or as a policy, collaborative approach को promote करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, because सबकी under capacities अगर हैं तो it's a economic drain to the entire country. So why can't we leverage each other and minimize the losses, minimize the wastages, and work as a win-win situation where we are able to give good service, reduce losses, leverage on each other's strength, learn as an industry together, and prosper together. Because businesses to will grow, country is growing, economy is growing, the volumes will continue to grow. How efficiently can we do it together? Because there is a vision that logistics spend should be optimized, but it cannot be optimized in isolation. There
has to be leveraging of the strengths with the players itself.
Yes, within the players, support from customers, support from infrastructure and government.
Yeah.
All those things need to work in collaboration, and it should be a joint effort to think of the 50 years ahead of the country.
Beautiful.
So as I said, these 3 points is where I feel: customer, process and technology, and collaboration.
So in fact, the Logistics Shakti also comes in here only.
Okay.
We collaborate, we celebrate for a transformative approach. How we can bring. So what is your message on this initiative of Logistics Shakti, different organizing the large event and having those kind of a collaborative or podcast itself? So your feedback and your message.
No, absolutely. It's a great initiative, and we definitely support it, and we encourage also that such platforms need to be created where people can come, collaborate, discuss, join hands with each other, share the best practices, and have a platform where this opportunities are given for people to come across. So कहीं ना कहीं पे ये silos को break करने के लिए help भी करता है, and it will lead to sometimes in the future when it comes to policy making, better ideation, which will help indirectly or directly everybody. So a great initiative, and I wish you all the best to keep a continual work and scale up the event where it reaches actually up to the ground level and makes a positive impact in terms of how the overall
Real
business
impact
is
at the
done.
ground level and the changes.
Yes.
So last question, what is your vision for V-Trans and V-Express?
Yes, vision. I think business vision. We definitely wish for and hope for that we would be the business house that makes the country's business happen. Our sole goal is that our customers' businesses should succeed, and we should be a pivot. We should play a pivotal role in ensuring that that happens. Because हमारे वजह से अगर कस्टमर का बिजनेस सक्सेस होता है तो डेफिनेटली आवर बिजनेस आल्सो ग्रोस. So we should be recognized as someone who enabled businesses to
Enabling
happen.
the customer's business.
And yes, I mean, obviously scale and numbers follow, but we would have a vision that we should reach all parts of the country. As of now, we are a domestic player. At some point of time, we would also want to expand global, starting with the nearest countries, SAARC countries, and then hopefully one day, if all goes well, we should be a global player also.
Wish you great luck for that.
Thank you very much.
So thank you Aditya. It has been a very highly intense discussion, and transportation and logistics is a very vast subject, may not be covered in 45 or 1 hour's time. So we'll continue and waiting for you next episode. And the viewers, if you are still watching, that means you liked it, and if you really liked it, keep sharing it and keep sharing with those people who can really learn and looking for making a career in logistics and transportation. And keep subscribing the Logistics Shakti podcast channel for a better reach, for a better learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.